Sup. My name is Ray for the TheYugiohCouncil. We do this every month. This is essential reprints. We run down the cards that need a reprint, and then you guys in the comments will put down what we didn't cover you want to see reprinted. It doesn't really matter. Everything is an option, and feel free to speak up. You won't be judged. I promise you won't. So we're going to start with Mechaphantom Beast, Dragosack, because Mechaphantom Beast, Harpies, Dragon Ruler plants, and Mermel's all needed. Two of the four are budgeted version decks. Let's put it that way. And to make those decks, this card is needed in at least 1 to 3, depending on the deck. And it's going to probably stay that way in the future too, just to make the deck, because it's a token spammer. It's a great card. It should get a reprint in Wave 2.5. And I know I sound like a broken record. I say that every month on Essential Reprints, but I'm going to keep saying it till it gets reprinted. This is one that I haven't mentioned that kind of a spoiler I was working on for the council, like starting today. It is I can't even pronounce her name. It is the Nurse, the Fallen One, because, well, let's be honest. This thing fetches 20 freaking bucks because it is that hard to find. They are scarce. It is hard to find this one card. And that means to build what should be a cheap burn deck, would run you about, I don't know, 60 bucks. And that's just for 3 of her. And that is pretty high price for a lot of players. For myself, not really, but still, 20 bucks not bad, but it should get a reprint because there's no way it should be 20 bucks. It's just that hard to find. That's the problem. Arknight Magician, you could say, yeah, they got a reprint in Duelist League, but that's still not good enough. With the new support coming out, I guess you could try new support. When I say new support, I'm talking about we finally got the wizard. Now level 3 tuners can use instant fusion and go into Arknight Magician for lulls for days. Hence kind of why I want to see this reprinted. Even if it's a rare or a super, I wouldn't care. Just something to make it a little bit easier to get. Because when people talk about Arknight Magician, they are scarce. And Duelist League does not have a good circulation to get everything out, just so we're clear. Moving on. I think this one was pretty obvious, Dragoon Knight Vajrayana, because let's be honest, 40 freaking bucks a piece, and you need the card in 3. There's no way you can run it like 1 or 2, and my mic is being a pain in the butt right now. This whole day with filming has been a pain in the butt. I think you may have noticed on coffee time, but Vajrayana, 40 bucks a piece, that's $120 for an entire playset. That's where it pushes the limit and it gets ridiculous, kind of like Wolf Bark, but Wolf Bark is too early to talk about, hence why we have to talk about Dragoon Knight. This comes from Star Trek Blast, and that set needs everything reprinted. I've said it numerous times. It's definitely one that should be reprinted. Maybe in Wave 2 tins, even if it's a super again, doesn't matter. This one is 35 bucks. He's only wearing 1, but still, when you put that on top of the, you can get away without him, but when you put that on top of Vajrayana, that's freaking 150 bucks. That starts getting expensive pretty quickly for a hobby. It's definitely one that is scarce and hard to find, and price fluctuates, so definitely one that should get a reprint immediately. Diamond Direwolf, excuse me. I have a lot of people coming to me and say, man, I built that deck with Diamond Direwolf. It's just a pain to get. It's like 40 bucks a piece. Infernities. That's the main reason why. And it deserves its price tag. I'm not going to lie. It really does. Do I want to see it get reprinted? Yeah, I could use another one. I just don't want to drop another 40. I mean, I got mine cheaper, but still. Not everyone gets something cheaper like, oh, I pulled it out of the pack. Woo! Congrats. Not everyone could do that. We're looking at the base price, and the base price is 40 bucks just for Direwolf. Direwolf goes into a lot of decks that were supposed to be budgeted. Crystal Beast, run 2 of him, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even 3 just for extra popping. Infernities run, well, Infernities aren't really all that cheap now, are they? But Infernities run 2 of him at the very least. It adds up pretty quickly. It adds up. And it's definitely one that can use the reprint, and I don't know why the skin looks so bad. But moving on, anyway. Maxi, $11 for the super, aiming up to $12. It's starting to see that price rise, and it's supposed to be a cheaper card. It's one that should get reprinted soon enough. because otherwise we're going to have another price rise on our hands, and this thing's going to be like $30 a piece for supers because the format's going to demand it. It's one. I don't think it's going to get that high, probably 25 at most, which sounds nuts for a Tim promo, but they're $12 already, so it's not that far-fetched. And someone's going to make a joke that I said far-fetched. But definitely one that should get reprinted. Big Eye, gonna sound like a broken record again. Where were you wave 1, maybe wave 2, maybe wave 2.5? Who knows? Definitely needs one. Hopefully we do get a wave 2.5. We need a lot of reprints, and you see in the video. So Big Eye definitely won. Tuning, I covered this in stock market. It was like 22 bucks. It's ridiculous. It should definitely get a reprint because, come on, Star Strike Blast, it's $22 a piece. That comes out to, do your math, $66 just for 3 cards to build like quick draw plants. And it just, it's stupid. It's just stupid to the max. Shooting Quasar Dragon, this is $50 now. Jeez, because it didn't get the reprint. It's not going to get one for a while. We probably won't see a reprint for this one until next year. And that's kind of sad because Europe definitely deserves this. It ain't right. And 50 bucks? Like, what deck is topping that? This card's $50. Please tell me why. I know, it's hard to get. That's pretty much the only reason it's 50. Save Zone, I think this one's pretty clear. With the Maiden deck, I'm sorry, the Blue Eyes deck that just, came out. Definitely one that could use a reprint. It goes nicely with it. It has a lot of nice combos with the deck. Use it on Maiden, get Blue Eyes, go to Aja-Rise. Aja-Rise protects the board. Enough said. This works great in so many decks, and it'd be so nice to have it as a reprint. It's like 30 bucks a piece. I mean, come on, it's $90 for a play set. This one is just because it's hard to get, is Anti-Spell Fragrance. It's not really all that much, like $8 for the dual terminal a piece. So it's $24. The value isn't too high. That's not the point. The point is for Anti-Spell Fragrance is because it's so freaking hard to like go into a hobby store, and I've been into 24 different places and not one of them had a copy of this. Maybe once every 2 years I get a copy if they're lucky. I mean, this thing is just hard to find. I'm just going to buy them up. But, I mean, honestly, this is one that Dark Sycamore, a lot of people play a little bit more, maybe, if they actually had access to it, but it's hard to find, so reprint. Thunder and Dragon, I actually went on eBay a few days ago on the stock market video. There were no Duelist League ones. And like I said this before, Duelist League isn't all that great, and he's 10 bucks, which isn't bad, but the reason he's $10 is because of the fact that the Blue Eyes deck is great. He's essential for the deck. Yeah, that's a pun, essential. It's definitely one that I think should get another reprint where it's a little bit easier to get because not everyone has access to a hobby store, or not it's not that way, but not every hobby store is going to have the Hobby League in it, so hence why I'm just mentioning it. Lava Little Chain, 30 bucks. Easy to understand why I think this thing should get reprinted. You can't call Hidden Arsenal 7 booster pack in a tin when you got a chance of getting like 3 other different Hidden Arsenals, and it just makes it too hard to pull one out of tins. $30 a piece. Definitely can use a reprint. It's going to be used as time goes more and more and more and more. I said that when it was getting launched. It's definitely one that should get a nice reprint. Maybe as an Ultra. Ultra look pretty nice. You got to admit that would look pretty nice. The Kree, we're in a partly like, huge, heavy back row. It's not huge, but it's not like people are being smart about it. So maybe that's part of the reason. But when you play against Evil Storm, it's like set 5, 9 negate everything. You play against Inferni, it's set 5, some monster, but that's very much typical Inferni. But Royal Decree is definitely something that just kind of like stomps on all those trap cards better than Trap Sun. And these things are like 10, 12 a piece for the commons. And it's something that could use the reprint for more people have access to. Maybe if Astral Pack 3, wasn't already said, I would mention it, but Astral Pack 4 is a long way off, so hence why, maybe we'll see it in Joey's World. Maybe. I remember someone playing it. I don't remember who. Maybe I'm daydreaming. I don't know. Moving on. Night Beam. Reason I bring up Night Beam, Galactic Overlord had pretty much everything good in it reprinted besides a Tomb, Gaia, and Night Beam. Those are like the only 3 really good cards remaining in that entire set. That haven't been really touched upon, like reprinted wise. But Night Beam I'm gonna mention because again, like Royal Decree, big huge heavy back row. Night Beam is super techy. You can't chain it. What you gonna do now? You just blow it up. I mean, there is a cheaper version called Noble Man of Extermination. I mean, Night Beam's not even that much. It's like $10, but still, just to make it a little easier to get, more out there in the wild. Emergency Teleport, easy to understand why I think this thing should get reprinted. It came out in the Duelist Genesis. Everything in that pack has pretty much got reprinted except Emergency Teleport. You can't really find Duelist Genesis anymore. It's definitely something that it's not expensive, but to get the rotation out there a little more, you should get another reprint. Maybe as a super, and you can do stupid stuff with Kyler Curry. So definitely. And finally, around it all, because I know a lot of people always go, man, I'd love to see that thing reprinted. Gear Giant X. This thing needs a reprint almost immediately. Like $30. This should be in the Redox tin, Dragoni Knights in the Tempest tin. Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed. Big eye for both the tins, but hey, I'm just daydreaming again. If you guys like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like our Facebook page, and comment below because it's cool that way. Anyway, that's it for today's videos. I hope you enjoyed them, and tomorrow we'll start lots and lots of Blue Eyes.